Well, hello there. Live CBI. This magazine I got here, Wetlands America. State of the prairies, incredible journeys, must see DU projects. Uh, it's kind of a new magazine to me, but obviously you can see what my interest is in. Now, what we're going to do today, though, for this week's YouTube video, is we're going to do a questions and answer live with CBI, aka RC, Cal Roy. Um, and we're going to get into that one later. But I'm going to start off. We've got just a couple questions from TikTok, and then I don't do TikTok, but Drake does, and with Carter's Big Island or whatever, I guess. And then the others are from Instagram and Facebook. And so this is going to be quite entertaining. Um, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, and it's not real hard to see, what kind of person I am, where I was raised, what my background is, and etc. So we'll just get right into it. All right, our first question off of TikTok, Goose Hansen at Goose underscore Hansen. Go-to duck call for Roy Carter. Well, everybody knows the go-to call is the big call. And what's neat about that is they've been barking at him with these dang cut downs, and I love the cut down. Don't get me wrong. I love the Rolling Thunder, the Drake Levy, but it's like, to me, they've heard it enough. Now, when it first got hot, they hadn't heard it, and so it was like shot calling a turkey. You know, well, now they've gotten shock called at, and they've gotten shot at. So I guess what I'm saying is, I blow a single reed Arkansas duck call, and the call I've been blowing for over 30 years or so is a kind of a modified Buck Gardner call. It's got some guts that was worked on by a friend of mine, Grady Stevens, that grew up in Southern Illinois, and it's got some inner reeds, inner roll of mylar that is like 40 years old from Tim Grounds. Uh, anyway, it just fits me. Okay, it's how you present the call, and then just always stay with the one that's liking you the most. Okay, let's. But I sure appreciate reaching out, and I know I need to keep it a little shorter than that. So I'll see if I can go to the next one here. This one's on TikTok also. So anyway, this one comes from Cody Blundell. If someone is wanting to build a small wetland on their private property, what would be some advice? What would be some of the biggest concerns? Size, food, water control, location. Wow. Thanks, Cody, for reaching out. I like that one. One of my first concerns, obviously, would be location, but not as big a concern as you would think. And what I mean by that is how many do you need to kill? Okay. If you want a nice family hole, uh, you can kind of do that anywhere, and just hopefully you're just not too spoiled like I was. That was my problem. Is I thought you went and you shot your mallards every day, and then I realized that when I tried to hunt elsewhere or went around, it's not that way. Okay, it just doesn't work like that in most of the regions. So location's key. Um, that just depends on, I don't know, how demanding you are. One could say how greedy you are, but that location is usually determined by the expense of it. Okay. I mean, there's duck areas, and they're known, and the cat's out of the bag. Soil type, very, very key. That's where my mind first went. You got to have enough clay in that soil to hold that water. And then where are you going to get your water from? Okay. And then what kind of stipulations, like in Kansas, you have to have water rights. Oklahoma and Missouri, you just back right in and pump. So that doesn't seem to make much sense, does it? But anyway, we won't go there much further. I'll be getting letters in the mail. Size, 1 acre to 1,000 acres, it doesn't matter. Uh, it's one more square inch of wetlands in America. It's life or death. I mean, I get fucking goosebumps, dude. I get ducking goosebumps. This shit's real, okay? Food, water control, location. Yeah, so there we go. Soil type, where you're going to get your water. Um, and then, you build it and they'll come. And then control your pressure and have certain ways in and out of the property, screens, not so much screens to hide the human to kill them, but screens to hide the duck so the human doesn't mess them up all the time. So, all right, we're over to Instagram. Thank you, TikTok. I thought it was Snapchat or some shit, but no, that comes from TikTok Supper Club. Best fried chicken in 1960s and 70s in St. Paul, Kansas. I think they bought that from Boots and Saddles. Anyway, Roy, stay on track. Okay. Squirrel. Hunts Illustrated. Are you excited about the upcoming anniversary of CBI? Am I excited? I'm happier than a two-peckered billy goat. This is their 40th anniversary, dude. You don't realize what this means to me. I mean, I got them. It's family. God. Mallard. Greenhead. Is it about a shit duck? No, it's about the mallard. Say what you want. And why is it about the mallard? Because of the way he communicates with you and turns you on. Okay. Thank you, Hunts Illustrated. And we love what you do down there. That's a really good, I don't know if you call it a publication, what social media site from a really good dude, a smart dude, a financial advisor. I'm very impressed with that young man from Texas. But this is Alabama Land Broker, at Alabama Land Broker. See right there. Now this ornery bastard says, thoughts on propane cannons. Man, if Drake and I was talking about that, and the cannons finally shut off, and Jesus, it was, I hope that we don't have to go to court or something, because that thing has a lot of tangible assets. The math can be figured. Yeah, I don't even want to go there, but I've got 39 different documentations that look pretty good in court. Don't want to go there. Just want to be neighborly. I mean, the guy's a good shot. World class shot. Maybe not on decoying mallards, but if it's out there, but he just can't blow a duck call. And then I got these kids that are world class duck callers, and they got a guy that they listen to that thinks like a mallard and knows how to put shit out there. And like I say, bought that property, never hadn't been a duck killed off of it ever. In the first year, we killed over 1,000 mallards off of it. So he got tired of listening to that stuff. But with that being said, the cannon's off. There's a lot of people around the world watching and listening to see if that cannon's on or off, and they're from everywhere, and they're with all kinds of entities, so to speak. And that's about all I got to say about that one. But you ornery bastard, if the shit don't stink, stir. It's what they always told me. Okay, here we go. But hey, God bless you guys, and I can't wait to see you back up this way. Jordan Bryant. Oh, I love it. The world wants to know who's Cowboy Roy. Cal Roy. Well, Cal Roy is a guy that leased his duck ranch out to the Habitat Flats and started consuming large amounts of Coors Light, and before that was Grey Goose vodka. And when I mean large amounts, like, it's weird, but you don't have to drink that many beers per hour. But if you start early and drink all day, say like 7 to 7 or 7 to 10 or 7 to 2, 7 a.m., then you can drink 30 beers pretty easy. And your body gets trained to it. So anyway, and Cal Roy was going through other strains and shit. So I speak of, sometimes I hope it's not, what is it, sarcastic or anything. I try to be non-personal, away from the subject, to analyze things so that I know that I'm taking my emotions and my pride and and passion and all that shit out of it and making a good business call. But Cal Roy was a drunk that thought everybody's supposed to be honest, thought everybody's supposed to follow the Ten Commandments and open the door for the ladies. And Cal Roy packed a pistol to most places and seen to it that it was going to be honest. So it's kind of like Marshall Dillon coming out after midnight. And that's not allowed nowadays in today's society, I guess. So that's why they say that Cal Roy's in the bottle and we don't want to pull the cork off the bottle. Cal Roy sobered up, found God, and so anyway, I used to introduce myself to some people as Cal Roy because I knew that my name's Roy and it reminds them of cowboy, and I always wore a cowboy hat then. And so that's where the Cal Roy comes in. So anyway, thank you. That those Bryant boys down there in Mississippi. Oh, here's a good one here. This one, I love this question. Thank you, Jordan. Let's see here. Gunther X Runther. Do you think shooting ducks over 40 acres unharvested patch of corn with 6,000 bushels of corn out there is different fundamentally than a person that flies out 6,000 bushels of corn in an airplane? Well, Gunther, yes, it's different because it's all about the plow, guys. I keep telling you. When our flooded corn freezes up, guess what? We still shoot them in corn, but it's corn stubble, dry cornfields. When it was native grass throughout the Midwest and up in the Dakotas, then the ducks got up from the prairies and they flew down y'all's way because, dude, and I'm just assuming you're from the South because that's where this article usually comes into play, or this topic. They don't eat native grass, blue stem, buffalo grass, Indian grass, and side oats and stuff like that. Let's say it floods out and there's a flood over here in the Flat Rock Creek bottoms or the Neosho River bottoms, all up and down the valley. And there's cornfields out there, and the farmer hadn't had a chance to harvest it. It's been too wet. One time I had Milo that hadn't got harvested yet. And it was Christmas and it was snowing on it, and the river got out and we shot the shit out of it. So it gets into too many stipulations that you can't write into that would create an innocent man to be guilty. He's not trying to break a law. He's just legitimately going out there and hunting and doing it in fair pursuit. The reason the ducks don't migrate the way they used to be has nothing to do with global warming. Global warming is a total conspiracy and crock of shit. If for some reason, and I don't see it, because us humans that are giving back more than we take, that are creating this habitat, if you'll look at our YouTube last week, those baby ducks swimming in that flooded corn that we still have. And there were some mallards in there. It was tough for Ethan and I to get it. Okay, we had 50 mil lens. We're growing 7. But, dude, we've got mallards nesting in Kansas now. If we didn't build them wetlands, if we didn't have that corn there, we wouldn't be feeding these ducks. And that's why, okay, that's why we have 200,000 mallards using this area now as compared to whatever before. Don't show up. It's all consolidated. Don't make me erase that. It's too crowded. It's all private property. We don't want out-of-state guides. Nobody does. And when I say we, I'm talking my neighbors I grew up with. This is southeast Kansas. All right. Thank you, Gunther Runther. I hope I helped you. All right, App Skip Duffy. Skip Duffy. Now I like that name. Skip_Duffy. Duffie. Best duck call for a beginner and technique. Wow. Right away, I was going to say a double reed. And then, honestly, these cut downs, because you don't need to know how to blow a duck call. You just blow into it and pop your finger off of it. No, I know all you world champions out there and shit. Don't come a fighting. Most of you is my best friends, but you know what I'm saying. I can't blow some bitch until I switch over because I'm grunting into that thing. I've got hemorrhoids bad from grunting. So my deal was with the single reed Arkansas style call. It was the old Susie duck call. Used to be made by Clem Blackburn, then was made by a good friend of mine. He bought the patent over in Joplin, Missouri. Old Susie, Brian Benford. So anyway, and the whole deal is, there's some guys that's really good teachers, and there's some good videos. That one, Keith Allen's got great video presenting hot air, like blowing on a mirror, fogging it. That's the hot air you have to have. That air has to come down through the diaphragm. It's all that force, and that's why I mentioned the hemorrhoids, which I know is a little bit too much info, but a lot of my friends are like wanting to make T-shirts that says, "Have you met Roy Carter yet?" Sometimes I can be a little out there, but that's good. I kind of like to get reaction out of people. Personally, I took a single reed. Rolling Thunder has a great single reed duck call. Many of them do, and I got that loud hell note first, and then I don't know where in the hell my calls are at, but anyway, I don't want. Then after I got that call to open up and hit that loud, beep, took a lot of diaphragm. Then beep, 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 and then all that pressure, less air, whack, whack, and whack, 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 whack. That's kind of it. There's some other methods and stuff that guys, but best thing to do is just go with some of the best duck callers in the world, and let them teach you. Just listen. Hell, best thing to do nowadays is buy a hunt at CBI, because, to be quite honest with you, what do you mean, be quite honest with you? Was you lying to me yesterday? To be perfectly honest, well, what the fuck are you normally? But anyway, several of our guides, there's no my or I in CBI, it just looks like it. Several of our guides are like the best in the world. So anyway, but all right. So I hope that helps you, man. Don't be afraid to try a double reed. They're awful user friendly. Don't be afraid to try a cut down. Two totally different ways of presenting air. And somewhere, like say Keith Allen, and he makes a good call, he's got a wonderful tutorial that really breaks it down. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, at Blakely Cobb, at Blakely.Cobb. Roy, what is one piece of advice you would give someone with a duck call to finish more birds? Okay, here's what and I haven't picked this call up for a while, so anyway, here's what, and that's what's neat about this old call. I have not picked this call up. I haven't broken it apart. I think it come out of the factory with a rubber reed, but now it's got a cork reed. But when you're working birds close, obviously you're wanting to sound like birds, and I like to sound like birds eating. And if you go to the park and there's mallards out there, tame ducks, just throw a piece of bread or popcorn, I know you're not supposed to, and listen to what they do. They'll run and dive at that dude, and their heads will be going out, and you can visualize their heads. And it's a kind of a territorial deal. Okay, and so that gets them coming, and they're locked, and they're coming in the gut, right? Okay, I mean, what if the wind does not change that day? Wherever that first group of ducks comes and does it right, that's where every group of ducks should come and do it right. And you have to make adjustments in your decoy. You got to give them a runway, and you got to give them a place to land. And they're like landing little airplanes, little aviationists, 172 Cessnas. When that duck's coming and you're not, and sometimes, like if you got him and you hit him, say, with a lonesome hen out there, and let's say he just freaking just crunches, well, don't stop all the way to the water. And that's why we hunt. I love the mallard, because, dude, that mallard, when he crunches like that, every time you hit him with the call, he's gonna crunch more. Now right there, like there's a gap in the trees or something, and it's like every time they come through that gap, it's finish time, baby. Play the fiddle. Let the fat lady sing. But here's the deal. right at that gap, sometimes I'll see them go to do this and my kids won't change. My boys, and right when I see that, because I'm watching that duck, and I'm watching that lead duck, the one that responds to my calling first and changes his wing beat first, and the one I'm driving, because I like to say I'm driving him like a Cadillac. So I've got him coming. And he's doing it perfect. Well, all of a sudden, he starts to go like this. He starts to wing beat. He goes from this to this, and that head starts to lift. And that's when I give him a. And I cannot tell you how many times that right when I hit him with that, boom, it's just over demanding. I mean, and it's that call right there. Maybe not that loud, just a something to steer them. Then when they come into the hole, we literally are so anal that everybody shuts up, and the guy that's upwind does the finishing. So in other words, once they bend and you get them that, and they broke into that hole, now whether it's Charlie or Fisher or Corey or Drake or Jacob, that guy then just finishes them. And what I mean by finish them, he just just make it. I like to kill them on the quack, but so anyway, I know y'all probably didn't enough of that duck call. As season goes along, every day's different, and you got to change. You got to figure out what the bird's like, and then when you see me blowing a drake call, you'll never see me blowing a drake call until January. When you see me blowing a drake call and doing the widgeon and the pintail, shit has gotten tough, stale. I'm talking, and so that just comes to tricking them. So okay, let me go into here, Mr. Cobb. I hope that helps you. Canaan_H at Canaan, CAINEN_H. I guess that's what that bottom line is. I've heard kids say that. Do you have any tips for hunting public land? Yes, I grew up hunting public, and I still hunt a lot of public. And it's all about scouting, and it's all about watching the weather. It's all about how much time do you have. Can you stick it out, on those tough days, if they let you hunt the place all day, and everybody else leaves, or, finding that place, it's tough nowadays because there's not a lot of hidden spots. So main thing's being polite. We are out here to have fun. I mean, it's about the duck. It's this world we live in today that's so full of greed and selfishness and everything. That's why this mallard duck, the harder he gets to kill, the more he's worth. Yeah, tip for hunting public, man. Show up early and leave late. Do your homework. It's kind of like being good in a sport. And then also know what you're doing when you get there. Be courteous. Don't go in there and downwind. It's not worth making enemies, okay? Like I say, we're out here to have fun. I don't know that I want to go jump in a group of 50, but hell, I don't give a shit. A lot of times I'll just sit over by the trees if I can find things to take pictures of, and if there's birds flying, I'm happy. I just want to see the ducks, okay? Do I like shooting them? Hell yes. I haven't met anybody yet that doesn't like shooting a mallard. Can't shoot them if you don't see them. So, thank you, and Canaan, thank you, and good luck this season. That's the main thing. Is just be safe out there and have fun. It's supposed to be fun, folks. I think we forgot that. I know I did. Man, thank you guys. This is fun. I know I'm probably chill. I could go get my 6-shooter and make it a little more exciting. Would you like to see my 6-shooter? Oh hell! Just get on my Instagram page and go back a few years. You'll see it. @_Edgar O'Farrell _. Okay, Edgar. And Edgar's asking, how many Diet Cokes has Roy crushed in his 10-year? I love it. Now, here's the deal. I'm a caffeine junkie, and but I'm laying off of it now. And it's weird. I went on a fishing trip, and it was hot, and I was chugging a bunch of water and not Diet Cokes, and I kind of got kicked over to water and not Diet Coke. So, hooray! I'm trying to make a difference. It's weird. So now I'm trying to lose weight and take care of myself. So, um, I've had a lot of people tell me it's a little late, but and I can feel, I got the aches and pains, but so do so does a lot of other people. I'm blessed, and so no, it got to where I drink about 12 of them son of a guns a day. I mean, and then, I don't know. And then they're talking about that aspartame eating a hole in your brain and everything. So I don't know, but yeah, it did. As you can see by my conversation here, I'm not chugging Coke. This or Diet Coke. So meaning, hell, I'm calmer. I've got a cup of coffee right here that I've let get cold, and it's black. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Edgar, thank you for reaching out. And anything I get into, I have a tendency to go a little bit overboard. Um, yes, I will admit that. So, I mean, and that's why I'm crazy about duck hunting. I'm crazy about my wife. I'm crazy about my family. Just, I'm just a crazy, wild and crazy guy. So, anyhow, next question is from at TC Binbo. What's the best pre-emergent for corn other than atrazine? Oh shit, TC. Hell, I don't know on that pre-emergent site. We've When I was a kid, um, it was always what, basically like Bicept, which is grass killer and atrazine. So atrazine, guys, what are, men and women and children is a residual a broadleaf herbicide that we put on the ground, and you like put a pound and a half, 2 pounds in your thick clay bottoms. There's a limit on how much, and it will stick around X amount of inches of rainfall and kill the cuckleburs and most of the broadleaves. And it's a struggle in today's world because the Roundup, which is the main active ingredient, is the glyphosate. Everything's Not everything, but a lot of things have gotten Roundup tolerant. Like you'll kill it, it looks like, but then it comes back and then it mutates, and meaning if you kill 1,000 plants, but there's one that you don't kill, well, then it breeds with another one that you don't kill, and it's kind of like a tom turkey that doesn't gobble. It's awful hard to kill. So the best thing to do there is just call your local co-op or ag and talk to somebody that's in that line of work. And they've got multiple classes. There's like a class 2, a class 7, and so there's different modes of action, and they can lead you down the right path. So that's the best thing is go to your local agronomy center. Each county should have one, and each state, like we've got K-State, and then over here at Neosho County at the courthouse, there's going to be some help there. So they can lead you down the right rabbit hole. All right, our next question comes from Josh Hall, 9660. Best shotgun gauge. Well, that's a personal preference, and it depends where you're shooting these things. For me, I grew up shooting one of those old school floating the 4 shell Super Black Eagles. Before that, 870 Wingmaster with an improved cylinder, 26-inch barrel. It's a quail gun, worked great in the timber. And when I was young, 7.5 lead. And when lead got outlawed, uh, we went into the steel game. But with all things aside, I prefer a 20 gauge. And here's why I like a 20 gauge. It's less shot, but it's got a better shot string. It all shows up at once, and you got to match your loads with your choke tube. And then less recoil, back on target faster, not as much audio disruption to the environment, and I'm real concerned about that. I'd love to see us get subsonic loads. If we could go out and hunt ducks and the ducks couldn't hear us hunting them, they would no longer be nocturnal. They would start flying during the daytime. But I like the 20 gauge. I like to shoot improve or modified, and that with still shot is going to be equivalent to a full choke. And I figure if you're on, you're on. Okay, so if you're really on target, go ahead and shoot you something that'll get you out there. And if he's 5 feet from you when you shoot him, you're just gonna, I mean, you got to be really on. Okay, and 5 feet's a little gruesomer, but timber shooting, 10 yards, easy to miss. Pattern about that big. Okay, but if you're on, you're on, baby. You know what I mean? And it kind of gets where if you're a shooter, you're either hitting them in the head and spinning them, and that's what I like about the 20 gauge is it spins them. Whereas a lot of 12s are pushing back and this and that. But when you're hitting them in the head, clean kill, looking at their beaks, you feel good. And when you're wounding them and you got to shoot and you're going to the next bird and you look over and then you're back here, well, then you're all messed up. You're not going to shoot trips that way. And the best way to shoot trips is when a group comes in, go to that bird, and I highly suggest this, let all the kids shoot the cheesers and the mojos. When I call the shot, I want to see a 30-yard overhead greenhead. Boom. Kill him. Boom. And then the rest of these birds is all going to fly up. If anything, my muzzle's going to stay where it's at or come down. Take your time. It's like a gunfight at the OK Corral. There's no rush, especially in the woods. So I love the 20 gauge. And I love the 28 gauge. And then these new loads, like with this Apex stuff, okay? We went up to Canada and I'm shooting nothing but 28 gauge 2 years ago, shooting the Z28 Apex load. Totally devastating those birds. And I'm talking at 30 yards, 40 yards. This TSS has changed the game. I still want to work the birds in close, but I want to be able to kill that banded duck getting away at 50 yards if I have to. That's kind of my 2 cents. And then I like to think about my neighbors and stuff. I mean, yeah, I've got some jealous rich guys that have wanted to cause some problems, but I've also got some really good rich guys, friends that we get along with. I mean, I build my blind away, aiming the other direction from one of my best friends because I don't want my gunfire going his direction. I mean, let's work together here, guys. Let's see here. So, Josh Hall, 9660. That's great. Great question. Thank you. Kevin Castleberry, how do you make a feed chatter? Not the rolling feed chatter, but the cut. Well, I'm not sure because I'm, you know, that Kook and Duke is something that I learned from Trey Crawford and Jimmy Ronquist. That Kook and Duke, and the kids are really good at it, but it's a Kook and Duke, Kook and Duke. You're actually saying that. Then they do a kick, 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 kick. And they speed that up. Drake's real good at it, but I like to just do that. I like to sound like tree frogs. And the best way to scout for ducks on that public deal is go around at midnight and put your deer ears on like this out in the country, and you'll find where the ducks are. But kick, 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 kick. But yeah, just that, and then clucking them a lot of times. They kind of like it. You'll see them, their body language will move to it. But no, I tell you, Drake and those kids, they got the feed down better than I do. But I've got I got a weird meat feed, and instinct takes over. When you've been out there and you've calling these ducks for over 40 years, instinct takes over. It's like as if you're a duck calling at that duck. and you already know what call should be given. And I know it's a little set in your ways, but there's a lot of ways to call a duck, but there's only one way to call a duck. Does that make any sense? Okay. So you just call a duck like a duck wants to be called, and it should be one way. And what makes it special is it never is. There's a few of them days, but about 5 days out of the year that it's that way. So anyway, that's a good one. That's a good one there, Kevin. Next question is at Malt Gear Inc. What do you need to focus on when building a duck hole? Well, as we talked earlier, make sure you got the right soil types. Make sure you can get water in there. Make sure you can drain it to get it to where you can get ag food production in there. You got to be careful. A lot of people want to build a wetlands and they don't realize the importance of having that thing all sloping and draining right. And so you can work with your NRCS agent, and they'll help you a lot. And there is some government money out there, and that's a good program. That one there I kind of trust because it's, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. You mow the berms and that's it. And I want to say it's called, I don't know if it's Equip or what the hell the name of it is, but they'll be able to help you. Let's see. Outdoor Campbell, what is the most ducks you've killed in a season? Oh, I want to say somewhere around 3,700, and it was last season. Every year. Now, granted, we did a lot of hunts, but we keep adding properties and we keep doing the work. It's the sweat equity. Okay, we're not just sitting back letting it come to us. It don't happen like that. You don't come from sitting on your ass watching TV, I'll tell you that. Skip Duffy. Let's see. Now, I think, Skip, thank you, Skip. Hell, because you can ask all the questions you want. What makes you so passionate about the mallard and creating habitat for ducks and wetlands? Oh, the mallard, dude. I guess it's what I love. Some people are so passionate about turkeys, and some people are passionate about whitetail and black bass, and you know what I mean. You've got your people that are passionate about driving stock cars and everything. I guess the mallard. It's interesting. I've been down a lot of different roads, and they all seem to lead right back to the mallard. But that's that's a good question, Skip. That's a good question. And that gets back to that's what I love. The we got blessed to fall into a location geographically on the face of the earth that something that we once considered a nuisance 100 years ago, and my family had like punt guns mounted on boats, and would come driving through the fields in 1945 Chevy trucks or 50s to shoot the damn mallards out of there because they hadn't got the crop out yet, and the mallards were a plague and like grasshoppers. Well, now that it's turned into a blessing. It's that out of the box deal, and it's something I really enjoy and something I care about, and that usually reflects in your final product. So it's our goal here at CBI to continually get better, to continue to create more habitat, not just for the humans, but primarily for the resource. It's all about the resource. If we can't help waterfowl, if we can't help ducks, not just the mallards, but I mean, the mallard's different than any other duck. Well, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. And I tell you what, I hope that we can continue on and maybe grow something out of this in the future. If you want to be part of the Carter's Big Island YouTube, hell, just send us in a question and I'll try to answer it. And if I didn't get your question read on the air today, I'm sorry. And of course, old Skip here, he threw in another one. And Skip, don't stop. I love it. Hey, Roy, with a trophy wife like Janice, how do you keep the fire in the bedroom during duck season? Skip, I'm just going to tell you, I got my hands full, son. Boy, do I. Anyway, it's all about the mallard. It's all about the mallard. And we'll see you next time on Carter's Big Island.